Hi, everybody. First of all, who in here is Jewish or celebrates Hanukkah? All right, good. Good. So some of you might actually know what I'm talking about already. Well, I grew up in a big Jewish family, and every year we would gather at my grandma's or my aunt's to celebrate Hanukkah. And my great-grandmother loved to sit all the children down around the table and tell us the stories behind each of our holidays. Her stories were always very dramatic and told in great detail, and she always had our utmost attention. Today, I kind of want to pull a page from my great-grandmother's book. Today, I will teach you about the origins of Hanukkah, why we celebrate it, when Hanukkah is celebrated, and some of Hanukkah's traditions. We'll start with the origins of Hanukkah. Back in 200 BC, the land we now know as Israel was under the control of a Syrian king. King Antiochus IV demanded that all Jews stop practicing Judaism and worship the Greek gods. The price and the consequence for not complying with the king was death. When the Jews didn't comply, King Antiochus ordered an attack on Jerusalem, and he slaughtered many Jews. A rebellion rose up among the Jews, and Judah Maccabee spearheaded that. And within 2 years, using guerrilla warfare tactics, they were able to drive the Syrians out of Jerusalem. Now, after the rebellion was over, they had a lot of cleaning up to do. Their holy second temple was absolutely destroyed. And during this rededication, the menorah inside the temple was to be lit and continue burning for every night. However, there was only enough oil for the menorah to stay lit for one night. Don't ask how it happened, but the menorah stayed lit for 8 whole nights. My rabbi once explained it to me like this. Imagine your cell phone was on 10% battery and it lasted for 8 whole days. Now you understand the Hanukkah miracle. Now let's move on to when Hanukkah is celebrated. Hanukkah is celebrated once a year, and its dates are determined by the Hebrew calendar. Hanukkah falls on the 25th day of the Hebrew month Kislev every year, and ends on the 2nd or 3rd day of Tebet, depending on how many days Kislev has in that particular year. This year, Hanukkah will begin on December 2nd at sundown and will conclude on December 10th at nightfall. Hanukkah does not always fall in December. Sometimes on the civic calendar, it will fall in November. Now that we've spoken about when Hanukkah is celebrated, we can move on to some of Hanukkah's traditions and how we celebrate it. An essential part of any Hanukkah celebration is the menorah lighting. The menorah is the 9-branched candelabrum that you'll often see in the windows of Jewish homes during the holidays. And Chabad.org shed some light on that for me. The one candle that is lit every night is referred to as the shamash, or the attendant. It is used to light each other candle on the menorah throughout the celebration of Hanukkah. By the end of the 8th night of Hanukkah, you should have 9 lit candles. Before you light the candle each night, there may be prayers or blessings that are recited. And afterwards, sometimes traditional songs are sung. Moving on to some of the traditional Hanukkah foods that you'll find. Latkes are a very common, very traditional Jewish food that you will find. Most foods that you will find on the table during Hanukkah are fried in oil. Again, referring back to the Hanukkah miracle and the oil that burned miraculously for 8 whole days. Latkes will be topped with sour cream or applesauce. It's jelly donuts are another one. is another food that you'll find on the table during Hanukkah. And I got a lot of these recipes from reformjudaism.com. Another Hanukkah tradition is Hanukkah gelt. Now, in these days, people find it important to exchange gifts on Hanukkah. Although the original tradition was to give children gifts of money, sometimes as a reward for good behavior or for devotion to their religious studies. And it also gave the children a chance to do tzedakah, which is charity. Now, the tradition of Hanukkah gelt, it also inspired those foil-covered chocolate candies that we give to each other around Hanukkah time. Now, Hanukkah, to recap, Hanukkah is a celebration that began back in 168 BC. It's still celebrated every year and has many of its own traditions and customs. It is a time every year where Jewish families come together, and its common theme being valor in overwhelming odds and a refusal to submit. And every year that we gather and we celebrate Hanukkah, we are celebrating our dedication to ourselves, to our community, and to our faith. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it.